Hello, here we are, on to the next. Surveys and questionnaires. Which way do we go? Surveys versus interviews. Questionnaires fall in there in the middle. So let's talk about these. For this week, I want you to think about the logic that goes with the questions you ask. It's significant that you think about which questions do you want to ask and what order. And therein is the hard part in developing surveys and questionnaires. If you ask the questions out of order, it might skew your data. If you leave a question out, it skews your data. If you ask leading questions, you've left your research subjects with very little place to choose. Like, for instance, a yes or no question. They only have the two options. There's no maybe in there. If you go to that leading question, so what's important with it is that it is a strategy move when you go to a leading question. You may need to ask, are you a student or not? Yes, no. The yes allows you to move forward with a series of questions, and the no says no, you can exclude their information. You might find logical or illogical questions, and as you look at some of the online ones, you might find something as simple as, do you have a car? Yes or no. Do you like cars? Yes or no. What's your favorite color car? That third question might seem illogical. There might be a purpose for it. It might be validity testing, or it might be actually it's going to progress to somewhere else that maybe relates somehow to cars. And what they want to do is isolate whether you have a car or a favorite car. And the questionnaire is actually along the lines of something not about cars. So in those, you've got to sort through that sense of logic. And it's got to be clear to your research subjects as they're moving forward that what is the question you're asking and what are their possible answers. Now, sometimes the trouble with surveys is people think that surveys are a much easier way to do research than perhaps interviews. Not necessarily so. The hard work in the survey is developing those questions, that logical progression, using leading questions in a very strategic manner, otherwise trying to leave them out. Do you use radio buttons that gives people a selection process? Do you use the Likert scale, which gives them the I like very much, I like a little, I don't care, I'm neutral, I dislike a lot. Those sorts of scaled answers, which still ultimately end up with a category. It's very rare now, perhaps with technology that will change, but it's very rare that we're going to put that absolute sliding scale on a survey or questionnaire. Although they do reach out to a lot of people, that is the value in this survey, and that's why they're often used in quantitative research. If you go forward into this week, think about your sample size. Who do you ask? How many people do you ask? Back to last week to this week, and as we progress forward, those things in the course that we cover early on will continue to pop up again as we progress through the following weeks of this course. Anyways, I will see you again. Well, I may not see you, but as always, I'll be here. Good luck this week.